world of voice of thought.
Services,
Sheila?
Yeah.
What do you think about all this?
I think it's good.
services, or support, appreciation. Is that the
As
title?
an agency director and for you guys as individuals we serve, but I think the pandemic has brought to light the importance of what the DSPs do to the public at large. We know DSPs are essential workers, but now it's all over the newspapers. Essential workers, essential workers. And unfortunately, it took a pandemic to really show society how significant these employees are and how life-saving their work is. And we're doing everything we can to take this message and to the energy of the essential worker philosophy to the state and to the public so we can get better funding. And we're able to start to pay the DSPs a little more and closer to what they deserve, which is all the money in the world, if you ask me. And I also want to just say that we've known, but really truly it's sunk in how the direct support professionals, and I want to add the the frontline supervisors, assistant managers, the supervisors, our crisis team, our therapists, they are all the heart and soul of the center, and they keep us running. And we can't function without them. They are not replaceable. And I've witnessed some of the most caring, loving, dedicated people I've ever seen in my life when I go out and visit and see what the direct support professionals do, caring for you guys and your friends. So I think it's important that we do what we can for DSP Appreciation Week, but we make sure we appreciate DSPs every week and every day.
That's true.
And we're working hard with our organizations and advocacy groups to make sure that the state knows this and that they figure out a way with the support of the public and the tax dollars to fund us better so we can start to pay the DSPs more and closer to what they deserve.
That would be appreciative.
Yeah. DSP staff, their role is to support the individuals. And I'm going to pitch a new initiative we have, which is Support with Dignity, because what the philosophy is and what the DSPs do is they help people who they serve live fulfilling lives and find out what it is you guys want and need and help you figure out how to get it rather than just doing it for you. So I think the model that has changed over the years and that we are taking a lead approach with our Support with Dignity initiative is to make sure that the people we serve are the focus of the support you're given through helping you become more independent, finding out things that you like to do and making sure that we're helping you do those things and not telling you what we think you should do. But that's my little pitch for Support with Dignity. And the DSPs are wonderful in doing that. But DSPs, in addition to supporting with dignity, they're a lifeline for individuals we serve. Oftentimes they're the voice of people who can't speak. People who can't take care of their own basic needs, eating, toileting care, ADL skills. They have to do that for people who can't do it on their own. They help individuals cook, and sometimes for individuals who can't help cook, they cook for them. So they're really, supporting, but also lifelines when necessary. And during the pandemic, our DSPs saved lives of people they serve by going to the hospital with them when they were sick and making sure that the individuals could accept the medication. And, strange hospital, strange place, not feeling well. We had one of our DSPs going and actually making sure an individual ate, because they very likely may have passed away from malnutrition. But, our DSPs went over there and help them feel comfortable enough that they would actually eat. So our DSPs do everything for individuals, but only to the extent that they need it. Otherwise, their job is to help support individuals to do things for themselves with the support. That's why we call it support with dignity, respect, and consideration.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You think that, do you see the difference between doing something for people versus helping them do it themselves?
Yes.
Yeah. I know you're supposed to ask me questions, but I want to know that for somebody versus supporting with dignity. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yep.
To trustworthy, be honest, and persistent.
Wait, say that again, I didn't hear that.
Trustworthy, honesty, and persistent.
Trustworthy, honesty, and persistence. That's what you see as crucial qualities of our DSPs.
And cooperative, yes.
And cooperative. Cooperating with you. And that's what we're trying to do, cooperating, working together. Sometimes it's easier for us to do something for others than to help them do it themselves. That's sometimes harder for us, but it's more empowering for people as individuals and humans.
Yeah.
What qualities does a person need to be a good DSP?
You mentioned, you guys mentioned a few. What did you say? You said trustworthy, honest, cooperative,
And persistent.
and persistent. Yes. I would add one more quality to that is compassionate. I think if I can say one thing is that our DSPs are compassionate. And I think once they have that compassion, meaning they try to feel and understand what you're experiencing, from there then we can teach anything we need to teach, and they can learn anything they need to learn. But the compassion is really essential. Compassion. And the other thing I would add is making sure they're listening to you guys and your needs, not just with their ears, but with their eyes and their entire bodies to know what it is you guys need.
Understand.
Yeah.
What impresses you the most about the center's DSPs and how they work?
Every time I go visit a location, I'm impressed by the relationships they have formed with the people we serve, with you guys. So the relationships are really amazing. So I would say that probably is the most impressive thing I've observed is the close, connected, engaged relationship our DSPs have with you. The other thing it just strikes me when you ask me the question is what impresses me most is there are so many times, and I can't even count them anymore, I've said to a direct support professional, or like I said, I include frontline managers and supervisors, like Debbie and Travis right here, because they're doing very similar work to the DSPs. They're working with you, so I include them. But I've spoken to DSPs and other frontline workers and support staff, and I've thanked them or complimented them or commended on just the high level and the important level of work and just some of the things I've observed. And you know what they've said to me? More than I can count is, thank you, but that's my job. and that's probably blown me away. And I remember two specific conversations I had with one DSP and one, I don't know whether they were assistant manager or manager, where I commended just the level of work, the number of shifts they were doing, and how really caring they were through this pandemic and how they put themselves at risk. And they looked at me and said, Jay, I signed up for this. This is my job. And just the humility of that, on top of the commitment and the persistence and the empathy and the compassion, but the humility to say, it's my job, it's what I signed up for. Nothing special. To me, it was special.
How can we thank the DSPs who
work so hard to
Worked so hard to
support us.
support us.
Well, you know, that's a really good question. And I'm not sure I have as good an answer as that question is a good question, but I'm gonna try. So I think that without knowing it, you thank them every day. I think that a smile
Smile.
is thanking them. You smiling lets us and the DSPs know that they're contributing to your life, which is what all our DSPs want to do and our frontline workers want to do is help make your lives more fulfilling. So you smiling is telling Travis and Debbie, you guys are doing something good. And I can see some smiles behind the mask. You know, I hope you can see mine too.
Behind the man.
Behind the mask. You can see the smile in the eyes, you know?
Oh yeah.
So I think you know, some of you can say thank you and are fortunate to be able to have those words. Some of you can show it with your eyes, your smiles, your bodies. You know, a handshake, a hug. But really, I think the DSPs know how much you appreciate it, and as I learned, their views are very noble and humble. That this is the job they're doing, and I think any simple ways to appreciate them, they will eat up and really love to see. But you know, the simple ways. Thank you, a smile, a pat on the back. You mean something to me. But they see it in your actions and your successes. What you're doing now shows them appreciation because how successful you are.
Yeah.
So I think that's really, you know, meaningful to the DSPs.
Staff, work for the center.
How many do we want to work for the center? How many currently work for the center? So, you know, in full capacity, when we have all our positions filled, you know, we probably have, you know, between the school and the children's residence, 400 positions for DSPs roughly. We're probably at, you know, 300 right now. We're probably 100 DSPs short, which tells you how hard the 300 DSPs we have, and I'm going to throw a shout out to our direct support professionals, our teacher assistants and teacher aides in the classrooms, who take care of the younger individuals we serve, and their teachers who are really, and clinicians who are the front line of our school. And we, for DSP week, they're DSPs, so we consider them in the mix, but we're probably short 25%, maybe 33%, a third to a quarter of our full force. Just because of the pandemic and people are, you know, either sick or afraid to work because they're worried about getting sick or don't have childcare. What we're trying to figure out creative ways to get people to join our organization, because we have people that are working. An average work week is 35, 40, 45 hours a week. We have some of our staff working 90 hours in a week, 90 hours. And they're doing it, sure, they get paid, but they would rather take some time off, but they're doing it because they know that if they don't come to work in that extra shift or the extra 10th shift of the week, that the guys we serve and the gals we serve are not going to be supported and not going to be safe. What do you think they say when I ask what's the best thing about the center? What do you think they say? The best thing about this organization?
That is good, Adam.
That what?
Is it good? Good.
That it's good.
Yeah.
It's a good organization. Yeah, they say that. The first thing they say is the individuals we serve. That's what they say is the strength of our organization is you guys. That's what they say. I say you guys and our employees. But that's why they're doing double and triple shifts, because they're here to serve you. And I'm hoping that hearing from you guys on this podcast and seeing how great it is, how great you guys are, and how great it is to work for this organization and serve you guys, that people will say, hey, the center's a good place. I want to come work there. So we're hoping we're doing a lot of work to recruit more DSPs, so our DSPs can take a break once in
We
a while.
have more staff. We need more staff.
Yeah, need
We
more-
need more staff.
Staff at Eastgate also.
We need more staff at Eastgate. We need more
There's short
staff at
staff
First.
in Eastgate right now. Temple.
Yeah, see, you see the staff currently working very hard
Yes.
and tired a little bit.
Tired. Yes.
Yeah, but they come to work,
They do.
and they do because how the love and care they have for you guys,
And we're glad to have them.
and you're glad to have. See, I want every DSP to just what you just said.
Yeah.
We're glad to have them. That's the appreciation that they want here, so we can
Yeah.
put that in a banner
Yep,
during Spirit Week. That's a good banner. We're glad to have you.
yes, yes.
That's a nice appreciation message.
Yes.
Have you ever worked with as a DSP?
Huh, that's a good question. I would say yes in the schools. I worked in the classrooms as a teacher, a teacher assistant, and things like that. I started my career in the school system, so by the time I worked with the adults, I was already in management. But I guess I can say I have covered a shift when I was at a house more than once, and people had to leave, and I was there. I said, I'll cover. So I guess that includes I have done a few hours as a DSP, but most of my work before I went into upper level management was in the schools. So, but I did work a lot with students in classrooms and stuff like that. But I would say, that I certainly don't work. I often say that the DSPs work harder than me. I truly believe that their work is harder than the work I do, because I've done some of their work, and I give them credit because 8, 10, 12, 15 hours of the work they do, I'm not sure I can handle it. So I really give my hats off to what the DSPs do. And like I said, I've done a few hours here and there of their work when I've gone to houses and they've needed help. And I give them credit for doing that full time. It's really something else.
Jay, when is the Staff Appreciation Week?
Oh,
So
can you ask that question again?
I'm sorry. When is the DSP Appreciation Week?
DSP Staff Appreciation Week is the week of the 16th of September 16th. It's Monday to Friday, and I'm not sure what Monday of that week is. Is it actually the 16th? The week starts the 13th and it goes to the 17th. So that is our DSP Appreciation Week is September 13th to September 17th. And we are going to make something out of every day. And we have some of our school staff that's working at the children's residence, so some of them are working too. They're helping support you guys any way they can.
So Jay, how many years have you been working for the center?
Okay, that's a great question, Ori. So, as you know, about 5 years ago, the center affiliated with IJHL. And when the affiliation occurred, and you remember Nick Boba, our beloved Nick Boba was the executive director before me, and I came over here during the affiliation and helped him. Like I said, my background was with the school, so I helped him. We talked about the school and tried to figure out things we could do to improve the school. And a year or so after that, as you remember, Nick Boba got sick and horrifically, unfortunately, he passed away. But I was still here helping out and just doing what I could do to help Nick and help the center. And then about 3 years ago, I was asked if I was interested in being the executive director. And I had such a love for the staff and the management and the individuals and students that I said I would be honored to be the executive director here. And so I took that job officially 3 years ago. But I've been with the center in one way or another for 5 years since the affiliation.
Looks like you got an impressive work, Jay.
I would have to say that I've been very fortunate in my life to be given the opportunities I've been given and to have the opportunities I've had. And I guess the most I can say is I've made the most of the opportunities that I was given and blessed with. And I love my job. I love that I serve others in my role, and that I hope I'm doing a good job at it.
That's called being professional.
Thank you very much.
It's good to help out when you can.
Oh, go ahead, Sheila, say that again.
It's good to help out and volunteer and help out.
You know what, Sheila, that's another profound statement. It's good to help when you can. And you know what, in addition to, I don't know if I can say more than you just said with that, but I'll say something else. In addition to it being good when you help when you can, because you're helping others,
Yeah.
actually, a lot of research has found is that when you help others, guess what happens?
You help yourself too.
You got it, Sheila. They didn't even need to do all that research. They just had to come and ask you guys at the podcast, because that's exactly right. When you help others, you help yourself.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for the time.
You're very welcome, and it was my honor to speak to you guys, and especially to speak in appreciation of our direct support professionals and all the staff that help serve you guys. So thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.